Hey, welcome back to the Charlie Bahama Show, and I'm continuing on with this amazing, this is our 50 years of independence, so I must have the man, the legend, the myth himself, Eddie Minnis. I know you get so embarrassed by that, but you have to get used to that. I mean, people love your music, your art, everything about you. You are a Bahamian staple. I mean, we would drive by and we'd see you painting, and so you are a part of the Bahamas, you know?
It was all fun.
It was fun for you?
Right.
Yeah, under there, it was fun?
Absolutely.
Wow, well, it was fun watching you as we went by and just wondering, like, what's Eddie painting now? What's Eddie painting now?
Yeah, well, actually, painting on location, I felt I was giving Bahamians a chance to see how art is created, because ordinarily you would see a finished product, but they could see when I set up and how I progressed with the work, and sometimes I'd be in the same place for a month or two trying to get a painting finished, helping them to appreciate that art isn't an instant thing, you see. And plus I got to know the people in the area, they got to know me, so that was fine.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I mean, you have popularized Poinciana because when you see a Poinciana tree, you're like, oh, Eddie Minnis painting, because I remember the Poincianas.
My phone's ringing.
That's okay. So this is good because this is the second time your phone's ringing again. Did you get an Eddie Minnis ringtone yet?
Not yet.
Because remember when we were doing the TV show back in the day when we had to do it over Zoom, and we were talking and then your phone rang and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, my phone. I'm like, Eddie Minnis, you have some of the best music in the Bahamas, in the world. There needs to be an Eddie Minnis ringtone.
I haven't done it yet.
Okay, we can work on that for sure now, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we are here actually because they're celebrating you in many ways, your art. I mean, not only as a painter, but then obviously also all the newspaper, the comics. Were you one of the first or the first?
I was the first, I think.
The very first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I came up with the idea of doing the potluck cartoon, I had to actually sell the idea to the newspaper, and they had no pay scale or nothing, so everything was experimental, and I'm happy the experiment worked.
Groundbreaker. And now all the papers always have, they have to have one or two, some sort of...
Well, what is of interest is just like, no matter what the make of the refrigerator is, they call it a fridge, because that was the first one. And so nowadays, they say the newspaper has a potluck.
Exactly.
Even though they have their own identity, but it's still associated as a
potluck.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Well, it was amazing. I mean, and what's amazing is, I guess you're like our Leonardo or Da Vinci, because you're like a Renaissance man, because if you look at an Eddie Minnis painting, the detail is amazing. I mean, you get in there, the detail, it's amazing. Potluck is funny, and then your music is amazing. Like, you're on 3 different levels.
What is of interest with the painting, my painting is different because I use a palette knife instead of brush. And my objective was to see how fine a work I could do with the knife, as opposed to the broad stuff that most artists do palette knife work with. And then with the cartoons, I challenged myself to do one every day, as opposed to doing one once a week or something.
Wow.
Because that meant I had to deal with every aspect of Bahamian society. So whatever was on people's minds, whatever was happening in the country, there was a subject that I can, you see. So many times I would be taking in my cartoon just before the press, because the challenge was you had to have something good every day.
That's pressure.
If you put pressure on yourself, it's cool. When other people put pressure on you, that's the problem. And so I didn't mind the pressure. It was a challenge, and I was happy to be able to meet that challenge for about 10 years.
Yeah. Is that why you had to leave the pressurized Nassau and go over to Luther and relax for a bit?
No, just a change of scenery.
Yeah.
But no, it's again, I've always been self-employed, even though I did the cartoon for the newspapers and what have you. I was a self-employed person. And so I'm still self-employed. And so the work and the painting, I still do that. And it's been fun.
Yeah.
To be able to do that for so many years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is really great because I'm happy to say also that you're working on and actually one of my cameramen and my partner in sort of directing films, they're starting to do a film about your documentary. So you're getting the first hear about this. So hopefully later this year or next year, you'll be able to see a documentary on Eddie Minnis, because they needed to document your life and your work and everything. And I'm so happy here at the Central Bank, the Art Gallery, they have your work. Hopefully this show will air before the show is down, but if not, they could still pick up some Eddie Minnis.
Well, this show is going to be up until the end of August, so it's giving the public almost 2 months to come in and see the work.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a blast out of seeing the cartoons after all those years, because a lot of the stuff is still relevant today. In other words, a lot of things haven't changed.
Yes.
You see? And so that's good, and I'm happy that the public will get a chance to see the cartoons from the past, because it's really like a history lesson.
For sure.
Yeah, because doing one a day, it was like what's happening in the Bahamas at that time, you see.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to put it in a book and have that available for the public as well.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That has to be a book, the potluck book.
Yeah.
Definitely, it has to be. I mean, so whoever out there, publishers, you'll get a hold of Eddie Minnis. And also whoever could do ringtones, get the Eddie Minnis ringtone.
And actually we're also going to be doing a series of songbooks, illustrated, and Chris Stillian is going to be doing the musical aspect of it. And so there's going to be at least 3 of them.
Wow. Wow. Well, it's always a pleasure. I've had you on from, we had Electric Air, then we did Charlie Bahama, and now again. And I'm happy it's in person this time. And, you know, our Bahamian Renaissance man, for sure.
Thank you very much.
So all you young Bahamians out there, you know, you all know Eddie Minnis, even if you didn't know you know Eddie Minnis, because you all always still singing them songs. Them songs go on forever, and they sing it, they don't know. They're like, who is that? I just know this song, you know? So this is the man, Eddie Minnis. So you're so lucky to hear and, you know, come on out and see Eddie Minnis. This is our independence year, you know, our 50 years. So we're celebrating Bahamian, you know, icons here. So Eddie, it's good to have you again.
Thank you very much, Charlie.
All right.
My pleasure.
More Charlie Bahama right after this.